Welcome back to the day 2 of the Global Landscapes Forum 2019 here in Accra, Ghana, where we're all working hard to restore Africa's landscapes from the ground up. And this afternoon, I have the pleasure of speaking with Dr. Winfred Musila from Kenya. Thank you, my fellow country. Who is the Director of Ecological Research, Planning and Audit for the Kenya Water Towers Agency. Great. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you. So please tell us more about what you do.
Yes, so I work for the Kenya Water Towers Agency. It's a government agency that was created to coordinate and oversee sustainable management of the water towers. The water towers are the upper catchments where we get water. So they're elevated landscapes. And in these landscapes, they're able to store water and release it to rivers and springs. So in Kenya, we have over 70 water towers. We have 5 major ones, like the Mount Kenya, the Mount Elgon, Aberdares, Cherangani, and the Mau Forest Complex. Mau Forest Complex is the largest water tower. Out of these 5 water towers, we get almost 75% of our water from it. So you can see it's very important that we manage them sustainably.
Right.
So by coordination, what I mean is that we have agencies that are mandated to manage resources, for example, forests, wildlife, water, and all that. But in most cases, we find that there's no coordinated approach on how they do their work. So our work is really to try and create a platform where all these managers can come together and work together, have a common vision to ensure that these ecosystems are well managed.
Okay, wow, see, I didn't even know all this and I come from Kenya. Very interesting. So why is it important to have data to restore landscapes?
It's very important to have data to restore landscapes, because from data first, you're able to have a guided approach on, for example, where to do the restoration. If you have like limited resources, you don't want to go spreading all your resources in the whole landscape. But by having data, by knowing that these are the priority habitats that need to be restored, then that will help you to have a more targeted approach in identifying areas to restore. Another thing, data is very important because it enables us to know or to measure progress. Where are we at? To get also a baseline. This is where we are starting from. These are the forests, for example, the extent of forest cover in a particular landscape. So then once you do, for example, tree planting, then you're able to come maybe after 1 year and see, yes, the extent of the forest cover has increased. So it enables us to measure progress, to track our actions on the ground.
Right, great. So how do you measure progress? In terms of the water towers, how is that measured?
So how do you measure progress? We use all various kinds of methods. One easy way that we do that is by using satellite imageries.
Okay.
For example, if you want to know the extent of the forest cover. We also use other indicators. For example, since our concern in the water towers is more on the water, so both the water volume, the water quantity. So there are methods that are used to collect this information on water quantity and water quality. So what we have done as an agency over the last 2 years, we've been able to create a monitoring system whereby we've identified like 42 indicators.
Wow.
That can be measured and tell a story or the dynamics of the water towers.
Right.
We are at a stage where we've developed a prototype of this system. We'll soon be rolling out, and I believe once it becomes operational, it will be a platform where the other agencies can get a lot of information about what is happening in the water tower. So to measure progress, first you need to identify your indicators.
Okay.
Yes. If it is water, you can look at water quantity, water quality. If it is forest, you can look at the forest extent. And, like for forest extent, you can use the satellite imageries to do that. Yes.
Okay. So what impact does this have on communities? Like the water towers.
Oh, the water towers.
Yeah.
Well, as I mentioned, the water towers are very important landscapes. That's where we get our water.
Right.
And water is life. So in our work, we involve the communities, even when we are collecting data, even when we are developing plans, because they need to understand this is how our ecosystem is. They need to understand, the basics about these ecosystems and why we need to conserve them.
Right.
So, once the community understands, once we change their mindset that this is really what is happening, then they are more informed and they are more ready to participate in restoring the ecosystems.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's important that all through in our actions, you involve the communities. It should be bottom up, not the other way around.
Right.
Yes. Both in data collection, both in planning, and also in implementation. Another thing that we do is that for the communities who live within the water towers, we promote sustainable livelihood projects. For example, beekeeping, things like now we are trying to promote bamboo farming, so that we can give them an option, an alternative into income generation. Because the reasons why communities go to destroy the resources in the water towers is because they are looking for a source of income.
Right.
So we educate them. We also promote, these livelihood projects so that we can reduce the pressure on the water towers.
Okay, great. Well, thank you. I think I've learned a lot here. And what has your experience been by participating here at the Global Landscapes Forum in terms of the work that you do?
Well, first, I learned a lot. Before the GLF meeting, there was the IFR,
yes, 100, yeah.
And I got a chance to present about what we are doing in Kenya in terms of monitoring. And, it's amazing what other countries are also doing in relation to monitoring, like in Malawi. And, we also learned that there are other resources that we can, help us in implementing our work. And also sharing our experiences. We got interest from other countries who would like also to come up with a monitoring system. And we told them we are available. We are available to come and do peer-to-peer learning. Because can you imagine if every country had a monitoring system?
Wow,
then that will help us to report, not only about restoration, but also about, for example, climate change, all the other aspects that affect our ecosystem. Yes. About GLF, well, one thing that I've learned is about the decade on ecosystem restoration and also on family farming. And, everybody here is just saying, let's start, let's act. We've talked enough. We have all the resources. And I think that's the message that, we all need to take home.
Yes.
Yes, we need to act now. Because after 10 years, we need to tell everybody, yes, we have all these 100 million hectares that have been restored.
Yes. Rather than we have to move the target to another year. Hopefully, yes, in 10 years.
Time to act.
Exactly.
Then another thing that came out is that, for these efforts or the initiatives that we are starting here, for them to really have an impact, we need to loop in our leaders.
Right.
We need political will.
Yes.
So even in such meetings, we need to ensure that we have political representation.
Yes, and
it's
support.
Not all about scientists. It's not all about the practitioners.
Right.
What about the people who make decisions on where the resources should come from?
Yes.
So maybe that's something we should address in future.
Yes. Thank you very much, Dr. Musila. I really appreciate
Natasha.
you taking the time.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.